welcome back. My name, of course, is Don Bain, and I am the Gadget Professor. We're coming live from NAB 2018, and of course, we were at the wonderful LiveU booth, and I got to tell you, LiveU went over the top today, and they have constructed a studio that is absolutely fantastic. Mike, we're getting a little chatter back there. If you can drop that down, that would be good. There we go, now I can hear. So as I was saying, we have a booth that was built by the LiveU folks that it's just mind-boggling. And I'm sitting here right now with Mike Savello, and he is Vice President of Sales for LiveU. And I got to tell you, I was just talking to him before the break. I do this all day long, every day, for many, many, many years. This system that we're using right now, using your LiveU equipment, is absolutely the best, and it's the most flexible system that I've ever worked on. Right now, as you very well know, we have 3 cameras here and 1 up on top. They're all PTZ cameras. Each one is being isolated and going back in the LiveU Solo unit. From there, we're going back to our station, to our studio in Scottsdale, Arizona, and Mike may be able to even put up a split screen there. And this is all being controlled and produced from the Scottsdale, Arizona studio, and it's going through 2 of your servers. And from there, we're going out on 2 more solo units. There we go, there's a split screen. Hi, guys. And it's worked flawlessly for 4 days now. Not one hiccup. Pretty amazing. And the kicker is, I've had 3 or 4 people come here that had to get online with their computers. We had the gentleman from New Blue FX, and he goes, I only got my computer. I said, no problem. We came out of the HDMI out of his laptop, right into one of the solo units, NDI, boom. Another input right into the studio back in Scottsdale, came right up, clicked the button. I had that gentleman hooked up, I'm not kidding you, in less than a minute. Online as a new source using the LiveU equipment. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the technology is really a game changer in terms of production, right?
Yeah.
When you can think about doing events from a remote location now and not having to be on site with your production resources, the possibilities are really endless, because you can do so many more events now than you could ever do.
Cheaper and faster.
Exactly.
And actually better.
Exactly.
Because you're not dealing with all those details.
Yeah, and one of the key technologies for this whole at-home production now going forward is HEVC, right?
For sure.
Because HEVC is a very high quality encoding standard that utilizes half of the bandwidth of the previous generation compression technology to deliver the same video quality. So HEVC tied in with our whole at-home production model allows people at all levels now to do productions in a way that they never could do before.
And very high quality productions.
Exactly. So we've been working for the last 3 years with New England Sports Network out of Massachusetts, which does all of the Boston Red Sox games for both local and also spring training. And they had an issue with spring training because viewership is not great for spring training games. So their revenue is very low, and they needed to keep their costs low. And the typical production for a professional sports event like a Major League Baseball game is very high. So we worked with them 3 years ago and have really perfected this whole solution of doing all of the production remotely in Watertown of all the spring training games, and they saved boatloads of money on their production for the last three seasons.
It absolutely is mind-boggling. You know, when you talk about the speed, it's not only speed, it's the quality also. I mean, that HEVC brings a whole new, it's a game changer. It is a game changer, and in fact, I like to say that HEVC really doubles the reliability of bonded cellular transmission because it lowers the necessary bandwidth by half. Right, so if you're in a very challenging environment, cellular-wise, such as a major trade show where you have 100,000 people, it can't get any worse than this.
Exactly, or you're at a stadium, of course, where you have a similar environment. The HEVC is going to get you that high-quality picture in half the bandwidth that it would have taken. So you've got a much better chance now of getting a high-quality video picture back to where you need to send it.
Interesting. Okay, we haven't met each other. We just met each other a couple minutes beforehand, so I'm going to just bounce this off you. If you're going to look into your crystal ball, what do you see in 6 months, a year, 2 years from now?
Well, I think the technology is just going to continue to improve, right? I think the ability to do this type of a production is going to continue to come down in cost. This is being pumped to a physical studio in Arizona where all your production is taking place. At some point, you won't even need a physical production studio for certain productions. You'll be able to do everything in the cloud, right? right? So we see the combination of HEVC technology and cloud-based production. We have cloud graphics already today,
right,
where you can send, if you're doing a sporting event, for instance, you can send a feed directly to Facebook, but before you get to Facebook, you go through a cloud graphics server where you add your scoreboard and your lower thirds and everything, and by the time the video shows up on Facebook, all the graphics are already superimposed on the video.
And it looks great, too.
It looks perfectly great. And you don't have to have a local studio to do that, right? Yeah. So the next step to that is adding cloud-based switching, so you can do a multi-camera feed, all in the cloud. So all of your production will be occurring in the cloud. Of course, it'll have a certain production quality, but it'll be perfect for certain levels of events.
Oh, absolutely, without exception. There's no question about that. Now, what do you see, 3, 4, 5 years down the line?
So I think the next big technology boost for us is going to be 5G.
Okay.
A lot of people are talking about 5G. That's already being implemented in certain places. That was used during the Winter Olympics in Korea, we're starting to see cities in the U.S. adopted as well, where the carriers are bringing up some prototypical cities for 5G implementation, and it's really going to take our technology to the next level.
Now, in the Olympics, they actually used some of the LiveU equipment, didn't they?
They did. In fact, it was the first place where we've really used 4K for video transmission. So we're the only vendor right now that supports mobile video 4K transmission.
Yeah, I think that's important for our audience to realize. I mean, you guys are in the forefront of this, and again, there was the first 4K transmission.
And 4K would not be possible without HEVC. Oh, so if you didn't have that high capacity, that really efficient hardware encoding technology,
right,
and everything we've done with HEVC is all hardware based. So, and we chose to do that because HEVC is a very complex encoding algorithm, and you can do it in software, but you're not going to get the same quality.
Right.
And you're also going to have a heat issue and a power issue with your unit. So we chose to implement a hardware-based implementation. We have an actual chip in our system that does HEVC encoding, and with that, we can actually do 4K transmissions remotely.
Well, that makes sense. You have a processor that's specifically in charge of that function, and it's always going to be, precise.
That's exactly right.
That's what we need.
Especially when it's a very complex algorithm like HEVC encoding.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'll tell you, I'm blown away by this. I really am. As I said, we do this every day, all day long, and this has been, I hate to say fun, but it's been fun. And it's unusual in my environment because I'm just sitting here and I'm yapping, and there's so many people behind the scenes, both from the LiveU company and from mine, that are making this happen. But I'll tell you, everything, we had the LiveU servers delivered on a Monday at 11 o'clock, and we hadn't opened them up, and we had, we have used the solo units, but we hadn't had a chance to really get in depth with the servers. So, we wanted it a lot, 2-3 days to be comfortable with them, yada, yada, yada. And then Mike calls me up an hour after he receives me. He goes, "You're not going to believe this. We're up and running." Wow.
This stuff is really, really easy to use. Everybody thinks it's very complicated, but it's not.
It is not, and that's a testament to your engineering quality. It's really a pleasure to use, and I'll tell you, the pricing is phenomenal on that. So I tell all the folks, if you really want to get into this, LiveU is just a no-brainer. It's an absolute must, and I have used every piece of equipment that's out there. Trust me, this just works.
It does, and I think as far as at home is concerned, we had Scott Reeling from L2 on yesterday. Yes. This whole setup where he's able to do remote production of sporting events has allowed him to double his business in the last 12 months, and that's
really awesome.
That's really what this technology can do. It can help you as a producer make more money, no matter what business you're in. Honestly.
All right, now here Mike is also from the Boston area, and everybody knows that I am. So maybe we'll catch you in Boston sometime, and maybe we'll go see the Celtics win the championship or something.
It'd be a pleasure.
We can't talk about the Patriots. Well, we can talk about the Patriots, but we're not going to.
There's not enough time for that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for coming on air with us unannounced. We just dragged this guy in, and he's a busy gentleman, and we appreciate that very much. This is Don Bain, the Gadget Professor. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.